Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Thursday night Speak Pipe Show. We had a couple Speak Pipes come in, so I'm going to play those early on, and we are going to have a good time. This is a continuation of the topic that we had started talking about on Tuesday. I ran into some technical difficulty, in uploading some of the videos. The system wasn't cooperating. So I have the videos locked and loaded. We are ready to go. So I figured we'll talk about those issues, get it done. But before we get started, I wanted to give a little time for everybody to kind of file into the room. So per usual, I'm gonna play a little bit of music and continue to get myself set up behind the scenes. All right. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome Thursday, getting ready for that weekend. The weather's breaking, so it's gonna be nice. Who knows? Maybe we get a little something on the grill if we can. You know how we do. But let's enjoy some music and then we'll get to it.
Script. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Scrolling through the tube, all the thumbnails flash. Cats doing flips, pranks gone bad, they crash. But now you landed here where the beats don't miss. Yeah, algorithm point, but you hit my abyss. Oh. Could've clicked the cooking show. Could've learned to tie a boat. But you chose this flow. So let's go, yeah. You could be watching any YouTube channel, but you're here with me, grab the remote, dismantle. Lost in the pixels, but the vibe too ample. You could've clicked away, now you're stuck in my scandal. ASMR whispers, mukbang feast, unbox therapy or conspiracy priest. But now you're in the trap, this rap's your feast. Chewing on the words, every line unleashed. A million views, a billion streams, but don't hit the vein of these digital dreams. You could surf the net, but you stayed in my scheme. Caught up in my rhythm, my beat supreme. Could be watching any YouTube channel, but you're here with me, grab the remote, dismantle. Lost in the pixels, but the vibe too ample. You could've clicked away, now you're stuck in my scandal. Could be watching chefs burn pots in the kitchen, or influencers fake fights for attention. Drama queens with crowns, but no conviction. But now you're here, my addiction. Could've clicked that prank, that mukbang feast, or streams of gamers slaying beats. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me where you wanna be, out the algorithm, just you and me. Could be watching cats knock glasses down, or a dude trying to stunt, stressed as a clown. DIY hacks turn smiles to frowns, but you're vibing here, no fakes around sound. This ain't unboxing or ASMR, no clickbait titles, no rented cars. Realest channel in your repertoire. Stay tuned, superstar. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me where you wanna be, out the algorithm, just you and me.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry for the no sound. I put the pause on. But told you we having difficulties. All right, so we had 3 speak pipes come in today, and we're gonna read through those. But we should be good now. So I was saying hi to local arts Twitch, Wendy, Lizzie B in the house, Katie, Rosemont Harris, what's going on? Who else we had? Oh, we had Janet, Tanya Carter. What? Darlene Hall's in the house. What's happening? What's happening? All right, Wendy. Yeah, so we're gonna rock right into it. So like we were talking about the whole step parent thing, and I think that that's a pretty interesting conversation, just because it's something that affects so many people. And as we had talked about it last week, we kind of got into it, and it was like a really good discourse on that. But just how things start, how things are going, and sometimes how they end. And that's what we're actually going to talk about today. Some like because you get the relationship and you're like, oh, everything is wonderful, it's so beautiful, it's so great. I'm going to bring this person in. They have to accept me. If they accept me, they have to accept my child, and then they have to adopt them and basically become that parent, because I don't want to be with somebody who's only going to half-ass do it, etc., etc., etc. Then what happens when the other parent, the other person who's the step parent or bonus parent actually accepts that child and raises that child as though they're their own? And if your relationship doesn't work out, now all of a sudden that person gets kicked to the curb, like they don't matter. But the expectation was there that they should be treating this person like they're their child. But the second it's no longer feasible for the romantic relationship to work out, now all of a sudden it's, oh, too bad, so sad. We sorry you came out to play, but sorry you can't stay. Like that's where it gets kind of dicey. So with that being said, we're going to go through the speak pipes first, and then we'll get into the videos and commentary and read some of your chats and all that, and we'll have a good time. All right, but let's go through. We'll do Janet first. Unlimited lipstick in the house.
Hey James, it's Janet. I was just wondering if you had watched the McCulty interview with the lady, I can't remember the channel name, but Cults and Conspiracies or something like that. I was just wondering your thoughts, and also just wondering if you have any ideas about when season 21 will be released, and if you think like the older kids are going to be in it more. Yeah, just wondering your general thoughts. I'm looking forward to the live tonight, and I always love being able to listen to my take on reality fam talk about literally anything. So can't wait. Okay, bye.
No sound. God, man. All right, we're gonna start over. We're gonna start over. Brittany, not Brittany. What's going on? How you doing? Yeah, I'm here messing up the whole night. Apparently, I'll be here all night messing up. Um, this is crazy. All right, so we're gonna take it from the top, right? And action. All right, here we go. So to answer Janet's question, a lot of what I've been seeing, I have not watched the interviews with McKelty's new interview. I didn't waste time and watch the Pop Psych interview with Christine and David. Like I've just like it's just at a point now where I'm not really interested. Like they've killed my interest and my curiosity in any of their interviews. Why? Because when they get on the interviews, no matter who does it, there's always the promise that, especially if you get a YouTuber, especially YouTubers who have consistently criticized Suki for not asking questions, real questions, not digging deep into issues, not asking or inquiring about the things that fans actually want to know about, right? There are things that the fans actually want to know about, the questions that they actually have. And the Christine, McKelty, David, Mary, Janelle, Cody, Robin, all of them could come out and answer these questions and not be in violation of any contract that they have as far as the NDA. As long as they don't talk about the next season, they can talk about previous seasons. They can talk about how they felt. They could give clarification on where they were, what they were thinking, why they did what they did, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But consistently, when given the opportunity to do these interviews, they never do it. It's always teaser shit. And I'm so past the teaser stuff. Like, we've gotten past the teasing and we need to get to the pleasing. You understand what I mean? We're past the teasing. We need to start getting to the pleasing. Like, you can't just come out like that shit was maybe cute. And I'm gonna sing the praises, not just of myself, but other YouTubers and other social media people who follow this show and through the off season would keep a lot of this bullshit alive. Let's give the flowers to the people who actually made the show and kept the show alive. It was the social media people who kept this show alive and kept the heart beating on this show. When the show took a break, it took a hiatus. It was people like Notes to Self 444, Sarah from Reality Squad, my channel, Amanda Ray from Backwoods Barbie or whatever, right? Amanda Live, like it was all kinds of people. The polygamists are growing up polygamy. They would go back, Senior Perspective, Jim from Senior Perspective would keep these shows alive. They would keep these shows alive because they would go back, watch the old episodes, or if, when the seasons were actually interesting, the IQ huge. IQ was big, right? Go back, analyze the previous season, go back, pull up even like distant seasons, start from the beginning. Oh, I can't forget my girls that down in the dumpster. Being Dia. I'm not forgetting them. But look, we push them down the shove. Reality Cringe TV, check them out. They do a lot of good work. We would keep the show alive. And the cast members never had to come out and do interviews. But because the show fell off the way it did, and more importantly, because they came out and started criticizing us for looking at their show and talking about them, you don't want me talking about you? Fine, I'm not going to talk about you. I'm not going to go back and rehash your bullshit. And then now they got to go out and do the damn interviews themselves. But it's just like every other movie. When you go out and try to promote yourself, you never sound tough when you sit around and talk about how tough you are. You never sound interesting when you talk about how interesting you are. Oh, I'm so interesting. I'm the most interesting man in the world. Yes, I am. I'm the toughest guy in the room. You don't know? I could beat the shit out of everyone. Yes. I'm the smartest guy here. You'll never convince anybody of that fact. What really helps you is when you have somebody else talk about how interesting you are. Somebody else talking about how smart you are or how wonderful you are. Part of the problem is they can't promote themselves because they're in a position where if you're going to do an interview, you have to provide information that people don't have. That's the benefit of having you on an interview. You coming out giving the same assessment that I would give, McKelty coming out giving the exact same assessment that I would give on what Cody is thinking, what Robin is thinking, what's going on between Mary and Janelle, what's going on between Christine and anybody else, without giving the insight of being an inside player is bullshit. It's a waste of time. That's why 9 times out of 10, all their interviews feels like a waste of time. because you're not giving us the inside baseball. You're not giving us the inside information that you have or you should be privy to. You're basically telling us things that we've already fucking said on our shows. And now all of a sudden it's supposed to be special coming because it falls out of your mouth. Like that's why this shows. That's why I think that a lot of these interviews just aren't being received as well. As far as what they're going to do when they're going to drop the next season, they better drop the next season as quickly as they can. I'm looking at like maybe August or September. They better be thinking about trying to track this season out. Why? Because if they don't, this show is going to go down like the Titanic, son. It's over. They don't have it. The reason why they're out there promoting the show and trying to get their names out there is because if you notice, they don't have the buzz that they used to have going from season to season. They just don't. And because of their dry ass seasons prior to this, even prior to this season, this last season, I've been making it a point to call them out. And shame on you guys at TLC or the Brown family for not listening to what I said. I said 2 seasons ago, your show is too dry. There's nothing going on in your show. This shit is not interesting. I've seen where other content creators, bless their heart, try to make the shit seem more interesting than it was. They will come out and be like, this episode was so interesting. There was so much going on. There was nothing going on. How do I know there was nothing going on? And how can I prove without a shadow of a doubt there was nothing going on? Because if there was so much going on, people would be able to talk about the season after the season ended. Not one channel is going back doing a review of season 20. Nobody is doing a deep dive on what happened during season 20. Nobody, nada, nothing, no negativity, negatory, nothing. Zit, zilch, whatever you want to say. Nobody's going back looking at this shit. We barely made it through the first time watching it. There used to be enough to where I would have to go back and watch an episode maybe twice so that I can come up with my videos because we're like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. Oh, yeah, I need to talk about that. I need to address this. And this seems kind of interesting. Maybe we can tie something into that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This one, what? I'm going to do a review of Cody going out telling Robin for the 80th time that he wants to have a monogamous relationship while they're sitting over dinner at some restaurant. What are we doing? The most pivotal thing they had during this entire season was the quote unquote apology tour, which was complete staged bullshit. I don't think anybody bought into that was like, yeah, Cody's serious. He really means it. He's so sorry. Oh my gosh, Cody really turned his whole life around because he realizes what he lost when he let the 3 of them go. Nobody believes that. The only reason why the women met him is because it's a TV show. The only reason why Cody was even inclined to go there and sit in a chair and talk to him and so-called apologize, which was bullshit too, which so-called apologize was because he was being taped to do so. And he could say later that he apologized. But what did he apologize for? I'm sorry, I'm so awesome. I'm sorry, I'm so amazing that you couldn't get your life together after I left you because I am that awesome. I'm sorry for my awesomeness. But who the hell wants to watch that shit? Especially when you've been watching them run over these women and these kids for the last 20 seasons. That's what you're apologizing for? So, no, I mean, did I watch it? And please don't take this as like I'm being hostile because somebody asked a question. I'm just saying that if anything, I'm just frustrated at the fact that they are trying to take advantage of people who have been loyal to this show and people who watch this show. And it just comes off super damn grifty. Like the show right now, in my opinion, between the show and the cast members, especially with so many of them supposedly starting these like little workshops and shit and these little side businesses that are supposed to help people with, get over relationships and failed relationships and stuff that they've had. It's just super grifty to me. It's super grifty. It just doesn't make sense. Like, how you going to teach somebody to do something you've never done before? Like, that'd be like me teaching women how to have babies. This is what it's like when you go into labor. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to bear down. And even though the pain starts, I want you to understand you're giving life. And that thought should be enough to get you through the pain. You don't need the shot. You don't need no medicine. All you need is love and compassion and someone to hold your hand as you push that baby out through the birth canal. The birth canal of love, compassion, and friend. Like what the ain't nobody. You should never buy a birth. How to Give Birth from James. Never. I can sympathize. I can tell you what I've seen and what it looks like. Oh, that shit looked like it hurt. That's the best I can do for you. It looked like it hurt a lot. The epidural, yeah, you probably want to get that. Whatever they got that's going to take some of that pain off your ass, from what I've seen, yeah, you probably want to do that. What's it going to feel like? No clue. But that's what I feel like those programs are. I'm going to teach you how to do something I have no experience in doing. You know what I mean? I'm going to teach you. Oh, I got to put the, hold on one second. I'm going to put the comments on the screen. My fault. I do this every damn time. But yeah, I it's just crazy to me. You know, I'm going to teach you guys Strive with Janelle. I'm going to teach you guys how to get over the love so you could be a strong, independent woman who can make your own decisions, girl. I'm going to teach you how to be that person, girl. I'm going to teach you how to do that. I just want to tell you, when I said I didn't love you, I didn't mean it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it all the time. Like, what the fuck? That's going to be your teacher? That's your teacher? Or Mary, worthy up, y'all. I've been in this relationship for the last 15 years at least. This man has been telling me and inviting me to leave for 15 years. He straight up told her in season, it was way back when they were still in Vegas. In fact, when they had COVID 2019, he straight up said, if you want to go, if one of my wives want to leave, you can leave. I'll be happy to let you go. And he was talking directly to her about her. She said, I'm waiting for you to come. He's like, I'm not coming. I'm not coming for you. But she gonna teach you how to worthy up. Begum's baby gonna teach you how to worthy up. Come on now. That's your teacher? That's your teacher? And I'm not even trying to really throw no shade on. Yeah, I guess I am. Fuck it. I am throwing shade at him. Because at the end of the day, I feel like that's your teacher. You like the teacher in a Bruce Lee movie where he go beat the whole damn school up. And the black belts jump out there and he all, what's up? He jack their asses up. Then he be like, huzzah. And he's sending the brown belts out there, the advanced class. They go out there, they get jacked up. He throwing people up on roofs and shit. Beating the hell out of them. Then the teacher jump out there and be like, I'll take you, damn you. And all of a sudden, Bruce Lee jump on his ass. Beat the shit out of him. And then you look over to the white belts and be like, get in there, get his ass. Bump you. I'm not studying with you. I'm studying with him. I'm quitting your classes. I'm out of this school. I'm going to go study whatever this dude is doing because he in here beating the shit out of everybody. He beating everything that ain't nailed down up in this piece. That's your teacher? No. That's what I mean. That's what I feel like. That's your teacher? They going to teach you what exactly? And $500 a thing, like a grifty shit. Grifty. And then what I'm gonna and then I'm supposed to, as a YouTuber, like I've made it a point. Like I had a couple people reach out to me, especially early on when I was doing Sister Wives, when I had a lot more popularity. I had a couple people reach out to me about sponsorships and stuff like that. And I turned people down because it was products or services that I wouldn't use or I can't get behind and I can't recommend for somebody else. Like the gambling stuff, God bless anybody who takes that money, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not judging you. But for me, I know I have a couple games that I play on my phone, like the daily games or whatever I play on my phone. And I realize how much of a time suck that shit is. And I realized how much of a trap that is, because I can't go a day without playing my games, because I got to get my games done, because I got a daily thing that I got to do or whatever, right? And I'm not paying money to do that shit. So I can only imagine if I had actual money on those games. Like if I could access my phone and go casino, that's what they call it, where I'm from. You call it casino, right? You could go casino on your phone and you could play for money, actual money. And I know how addictive phone games can be. And then all of a sudden you're going to tie that shit to your bank account. That's ruination. I don't see how that's helping the people who are watching my YouTube channel. I'm trying to encourage people to do better in their lives, and I don't see how that's helping people do better, right? Because, like it or not, the house always wins. 1, 2, when in the state I'm in, they had legalized gambling. It's been a long fight. They had legalized gambling maybe, I guess it's been a while now. About 10 years ago, they legalized gambling, 10, 15 years. They legalized gambling. And I learned something when they did it that I never knew before. I was already kind of suspect of casinos from the beginning. But they had a thing where they opened a casino up. People went in, they're very excited. Oh, casino. They go in a casino and they start playing a one-armed bandit. You know what I'm talking about, that slot machine. Bam, bam, right? Guy playing a one-armed bandit all day, like 2 days or some shit. He pulling that damn level, bang on, putting money in, pulling that level, bang on. Then he won the jackpot. $1 million jackpot. Won the jackpot. The casinos looked at him and said, oh, we can't pay you out because that machine wasn't properly calibrated. It wasn't supposed to pay out the jackpot, because they know when it's supposed to pay the jackpot out. They said it wasn't supposed to pay the jackpot out, so we can't give it to you. Instead, what they did was they offered him a steak dinner. What tripped me out was they said the machine wasn't properly calibrated. So none of the machines in there were properly calibrated, and they wouldn't pay the money out. But not only did they offer him a bullshit ass steak dinner that they give away anyway, like casinos will give food away because they want you to stay in a casino. They don't want you to go too far. They want you to be able to have access to come on back. That's why they give you free drinks, and they'll comp your meals. And if you start winning, or you come there enough, they'll start comping you rooms. That's why they do that. It's a business thing. It's called a loss leader. So they offered him a steak dinner. The one thing that they never offered him back was the money that he had previously put into that damn machine. They didn't offer money to none of the people who had sat there on them bar stools, putting money into them one-armed bandits, knowing the machines weren't calibrated properly. If the machines can't pay me when I win, then you shouldn't be able to keep my money when I lose. And not only was he able, he tried to take it to court, and not only was the casino able to keep the money and tell him that he couldn't play, and he completely lost. He didn't get none of the money that he played. He didn't get none of the money that he won. He didn't even get the damn steak dinner. The crazy part is that by law, they couldn't pay him. By law, they couldn't pay him because the machines weren't properly fixed or whatever, calibrated. So you got everybody against you. The casinos against you. The government is against you, because the government is on the side of the casino because they greasing the hell out of them pockets. That's why you go into a casino, start fucking winning. Go in a casino and start actually making money. Go in a casino and you in there on your last, if you put your house up and you lose your house, they'll gladly take your house. No fuss, no muss. Here's the deed to your crib. We're going to give you X amount of dollars. That's why, Atlantic City, I'm sure in Vegas, they got pawn shops everywhere. Atlantic City was bad for it. They'd have pawn shops everywhere. They have mortgage places. They'd have the payday loan places where you could get advances on your paycheck and shit like that. They have places where they would take your car, your car titles and stuff. And so you could get enough money to go back to the casino and give them your money, right? If you lost all that shit, they have no problem taking that stuff. But go in there and start winning. Go in there and start winning big. You win too many hands of blackjack, too many hands of poker, all of a sudden you're going to have the pit boss come over. He's going to ask you to fucking leave. He's going to ask you to get up out of your chair and tell you that you got to cash out. You're done for the night. And they might kick you out of the casino and ban you if you win too much. If you win too much, they will ban you out of the casino because you're winning. And when I say too much, I'm talking about like if you win like $1 million sitting in there, because they had guys, like there was a story of a guy, he was cheating, but he went and he was able to finagle rules to where it was benefiting him. And he did it at 2 casinos. He did it at 1 casino. He won like $5 million. He went to a second casino and he won $9 million. And the casino was like, oh, can we wire you the money? And he said, sure, you can wire me the money. Because they're like, we don't have the cash on hand. We'll wire it to you. He left the casino. And when he left the casino, all they were trying to do was figure out a way that they didn't have to pay him. And what they came up with was, oh, he's cheating. They didn't know how he was cheating. They didn't know how he was doing it. They just said he was cheating and they're not going to pay him. He took him to court. And even though he couldn't figure out, like he couldn't force them to pay, they banned him from the casino, told him he could never come back to the casino. He could never play there again. And if you are caught cheating in a casino, that's a felony. And they never charged him with cheating in a court. They never charged him with cheating. He was never arrested for it. They just kept his money. That's how casinos do you. So no, I'm not going to sign up to have people, get into that rat race or that trap. Right? Because I just don't think it really benefits the people who subscribe to my channel. And if I put, I recognize that I don't think everybody's just like, oh, James said it's cool, so it's cool. But I mean, there's a certain level of influence there. And there's a certain level of, if I'm talking positivity and things that are I'm trying to tell people things that I think could help them. And then I say, oh, yeah, by the way, guys, you guys could get on FanDuel and you could gamble on everything, about the game. You could gamble on the coin flip at the beginning of the game. You can gamble what jerseys the guy's going to wear. You can gamble who's going to score first. You can gamble which mascot is going to appear on TV first. You can gamble on anything on FanDuel, I think. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard. And FanDuel, one of them places, MGM or somebody. I see them with the stars doing the commercials. And you do that shit and be like, okay, yeah, James said it's cool, so maybe it's all right. And you try it. You get hooked, and all of a sudden you financially ruined. And I'm participating in it. That's why I don't do it, right? These ladies, they don't give a shit. You can sign up for my program that's not going to help you at all because I haven't figured out how to fix myself. And I'm going to sell you a program to do a thing that I've never done. And it's okay because, I was mistreated in a polygamous marriage. It's okay because I was taken advantage of by Cody and Robin. So I should be allowed to rip people off and pretend like nothing's wrong. Get out of here. Okay, yeah. Karen Dillon said, I live in Vegas, and yes, we have all those places. It wasn't built on winners. We call it lost wages. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, the town was not built on winners. You are 100% right about that. Like I said, you go in there and start housing. Get on the baccarat table and start housing them. Start making that good money. All of a sudden, they be like, oh, you got out of here. You too hot. You got to go. Or first, they're going to start giving you drinks. They're going to start applying you with drinks. All the booze you can take. But if you're like, nah, I'm not drinking while I'm playing. All of a sudden, it's like, sir, we're going to have to ask you to leave the table. Yeah, Sharon said, how about all those MLMs and other pyramid schemes? Yeah, everything's a damn pyramid scheme. I mean, oh, Lizzie B said, heck no, you can give me my money. You can give it to me in installments. Yeah, right. Oh, I'm not leaving. Yeah, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving without my briefcase full of money. In fact, I'm going to need my briefcase full of money, a duffel bag, or if you need to put the shit in trash bags, that's fine too. Trash liners, that's fine too. All I want is security to walk me to the front door. I'll figure it out from there. I'll make some phone calls. I will get my ass off your porch. Right? But but I'm not leaving without my money because when push comes down to shove, y'all wouldn't let me leave. If I sat there and bet all that money and I owed the casino money, they wouldn't let me. Oh, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and try to wire it to you. Can I wire it to you later? Because I ain't got it. They ain't gonna let me go. Y'all, you crazy. Yeah, we'll let you wire it to us from the basement. You know what I mean? What's this? Yeah, I won a free cruise gambling on those slots on this past trip. I sailed from Baltimore August 2nd to Bermuda. Okay. Okay. You're doing Royal, so you probably be on the Pride, right? I think the Pride leaves out of Baltimore. I think it's the Pride, or is that Carnival? Carnival Pride in Bermuda. I forget the one for Bermuda. Okay, okay. But yeah, like so what do I see coming up this season? They're going to try to make it interesting. Like I've seen like the little teaser stuff. I've seen the AI stuff trying to tease some of what's going to happen. I just don't think that they have a show. I don't think they have a show anymore. Because anything they do is going to be fake. Right? And it's not even let's be very clear. When I say fake, I'm not saying that I think that all these stories and their storylines are genuine and it's 100% and they're being honest. No, I do think that reality shows have to at least present some, it might not be real in the sense of this is actually what's happening in the family, but the premise has to be realistic. Like even when I do these TikTok reactions, do I think that 100% of the time that some of them aren't staged? There's a good possibility a lot of them are staged. But I only pick the ones where I think that it's a realistic situation that people could actually be going through. I don't pick ones where it's like I'm out on a Friday night and I see my wife with another man and I look and I see them hugging and kissing. I walk up on them. Turns out this is my best friend. And then we just all of a sudden we have a big argument. And then like 2 days later, we come together over coffee, have a conversation, and we're all cool with the fact that my wife is cheating with my best friend, and he's still gonna be my best friend. She's still gonna be my wife, and we're all just gonna kind of work it out together. That shit is unrealistic. That's unrealistic, right? I've seen shows like that. And I look at it, I'm like, that shit is unrealistic. This how you know that you've been in Hollywood too long. When you writing crap like this, and you think that's the way this shit gonna go down, you've been in Hollywood too long, right? You ain't been around real people, right? And I think that that's where a lot of the reality shows are now. Like they're so wrapped up in the fascination of being celebrities that they stop understanding how real people think about things. A real person who divorces their wife or their husband or gets left or abandoned by a man, and you're watching your kids cry and complain about this man over there being a father, an actual father to his other family, and he's nowhere near that type of father to your kids, and you're going to supposedly be cool with that shit. I don't think so. Say hubby's listening and he said bullshit. Bullshit. Ain't no way in the world. Yeah, we are not cool after that. In fact, the words on site mean take a new meaning. On site. Every time I see that joker, we are rumbling. Like I don't even know what to say. We could be in church. We could be hell, I could be in line to shake the hand with the president and the king of England. And if I see his ass, oh, a chair is going across his back. Like there's no way. There's no way we gonna be cool. We are beefing forever. When we die, our bones, they can't even bury us next to each other because I'm gonna figure a way to get out of my grave and crawl into this dude's grave so I can choke his ass. Right? There's no way that it's gonna be cool. Like we are never cool again. You know what I mean? We are never cool again. So the whole idea that we're going to get together and have a whole conversation or we're going to do a family reunion, bullshit. We're not doing a family reunion, right? Right. I better not see your ass. If she dropping the kids off to me, y'all choose to be together, that's great. That's fine. That's wonderful for y'all. But if he ever with you when you dropping them kids off, oh, trust me, I got my bail money already set. I got to put my bail money away. And when I see his ass, yeah, it's on and popping. So no. That, like I said, you got to have real life stuff, real life scenarios. And Lizzie said, how can you give your stepchildren more love and attention and your own bio kids get scraps off of you? Makes no darn sense. Well, here's the thing. When you have no real feelings towards the mother, biological mother, and your relationship with your kids is dependent on your relationship with the mother, which is already crazy as hell. The fact that you have a strong relationship with your stepkids is only because you have a strong relationship with their mother. And I think that's pretty much how Cody runs it. That's why he's able to disconnect from his kids and reconnect with Robin's kids as strongly as he does. But yeah, I think this next season is going to be terrible. But we had a Megatron in the house with left a message. Thank you, Janet.
So, hi guys, Megatron, first speak pipe in a while, so I'm gonna try to be quick and not do so many. But just speaking from the step parents' perspective, I feel like Cody just obliterated Preston's relationship with his kids, and Robin, the trash that she is, she allowed it. And then like with David, I don't think David's trying to eclipse. And then we saw in the videos where that was a concern of Isabel, and Christine let her know right then, honey, he's not trying to replace your dad. So I think that conversation was had with Christine and David, and I think vice versa.
Oh, she got cut off. We're going to go right into Megatron too.
Hey guys, Megatron one last time. But yeah, as I was saying though, I think Christine has a healthy relationship with David's kids. She refers to them when she speaks about them in interviews. She includes them when she says how many kids and grandkids. So overall, I think her and David had that conversation. Don't know who initiated it, but I feel like that conversation was had between them. And I think they're both secure in their places and position in each other's lives. So it's not a problem. But yeah, Cody is a dirtbag. He totally stripped those kids from their biological dad. And Robin aided and abetted and allowed it and probably got him to do it. But yeah, it's all about a healthy balance on all sides and maturity. Maturity is important because if you don't have maturity, then what are we here for?
Right. No, I agree with that. I think that part of the reason why I think Robin was so insistent on eliminating Preston is because she didn't want to have to go through the embarrassment of recognizing that she was a divorcee and she had kids. She has kids with two different men. Right. So she eliminates Preston's presence. She encourages Cody to adopt her kids so that way when they do the whole name change, that way there's no question as to, oh, they're Browns. And she even had like the fake pictures made up with them being, Cody basically raising the kids from when they were little. So it seems like he was always present. It's all about the facade part of it because of ease of getting rid of somebody who's present. I think that step parents deserve some recognition, as we'll talk about during this next portion. I think step parents deserve some recognition for the good job that they do, the good works that they do. I think that there should always be an opportunity for biological parents or people who are going to support that child. Because again, I talked about it on Tuesday when I talk about like it takes a village and the importance of the village in raising a child. I think that that's part of it. I think that if you can have a biological father and a stepfather rooting for the kids, like when it comes down to it, like if I was to separate from my wife, I don't want to fight her over the kids. I want to fight with you for our kids. I want to defend our kids. I want to promote our kids. I don't want to sit here and waste my time going back and forth with you, especially if our relationship is over. It's a waste of time. Right? And you can't be so small and so petty that you're putting your feelings, your emotions, and your failed relationship ahead of the best interests of your kids. Her kids would have benefited by being around Preston and being around his other siblings, especially if you believe Robin's bullshit about how the Brown family never accepted her kids and they were always outcasts. Well, she had a whole flock of brothers and sisters sitting over at Preston's house who were their biological half siblings, and they could have had relationships with them. And you denied them that relationship because you couldn't get out of your own way. You couldn't, it hurts your feelings too much for them to be able to go over to Preston's house and call him daddy. And for you to have to share their love with their other parent, it hurts you too much and you couldn't continue. That tells me that you're a small, insignificant person. You're insecure and you need to get a damn grip, because you're willing to sacrifice your kids' mental stability, their self-esteem, and their security so that you can feel better. That doesn't make you a great mom. I don't give a shit how much you do for those kids beyond that point. If you're hurting your kids that way, you're not helping them and you're not a great mom. You might be a decent mom, might be doing some things, and congratulations on that. But a great mom is making sure that her kids, or in a great sense of a great father, is making sure your children are well-rounded and they have the tools necessary for them to be successful. And stripping away security, self-esteem, that does not make for a great, strong child. Making them resentful, making them feel like, my dad don't want me, my mom don't want me. How do you go into a relationship? I kind of talked about this before with the young lady that called in on Tuesday. How do you introduce another person to your child and say, this is going to be your parent, your step parent, or whatever the case may be, when they look at themselves and say, my real dad doesn't even want to be a part of my life? Why would I pretend to get close to this guy so he can hurt me the way my dad did? That's my dad, and he owes me something. Like, at least, in the natural course of events, this person actually has a duty to me, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with me, according to you. So why would I attach myself to this person who has no reason to want to have anything to do with me and take that risk of being hurt? You're setting yourself up and you're setting your child up. You know how many kids are out there, like, these things happen, and it's sad to see, but they seek attention, whether it's male attention or female attention, because their moms or dads aren't around. And they spend their lives chasing that attention that they'll never achieve because the person is not around. So they look for that attention from in all the wrong places and in all the wrong faces. You understand what I mean? So it just, I don't know. To me, it's crazy selfish. But with that being said, thank you to Megatron. Thank you to Janet for leaving those messages. Let's get into the videos that I had pulled up. I want to pull them up now. I loaded them, but this thing was not cooperating. Before we do that, let me check one thing real quick, because we did a poll. Okay. Who should have priority at major life events like graduation? 8% of you said your biological parent. 44% of you said the person who raised you. And 48% of you said both equally. I'm going to leave that poll up for a little bit. You guys want to answer those poll questions? That'd be awesome. And let's go to this video. All right. Oh, here we go.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I got a question for you. I just left our daughter's house, your daughter's house, and you know she's graduating, and she was telling me that she wanted, I guess her biological father just came back into her life or whatever the case after 17 years, and she wanted him to come to the graduation, but in order for that to happen, I have to give up my ticket. And she told me that you knew something about this.
Yeah, I didn't know something about it.
And
Is that a problem?
You don't think it's a problem? Like after 17 years? Like you don't think that's a problem?
No, I don't think it's a problem at all. Because if she want her daddy back in her life, put her daddy back in her life.
So you want me, so after 17 years, this dude come around, look, he can be there. But y'all want me to give up my ticket to let him come. Don't I pay for that entire graduation? I got her first
you should respect. Okay, and we appreciate everything that you did. But at the end of the day, it's still gonna be her daddy, and she wants her daddy to come back in her life. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Y'all trifling as hell, man. You mean to tell me so what is you what's up with you and him? Y'all back together or something? Because it has to be something to it. Because ain't no man after 17 years, ain't no man just gonna pop back up and I want to be at your graduation now. Ain't no man do it. And what type of man is he?
What you mean? What type of man is he?
Listen,
he's trying to come back in his daughter's life.
Any type of man.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
But y'all in cahoots with trying to get me to give up my ticket that I paid for?
Come on now, ain't nobody in cahoots. It's just that she want her daddy to see her daddy graduate. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but you brought it to her. She told me you brought it to her. You brought it. You convinced her to do that.
Because we trying to build a family. We trying to build a family.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, that's the part. That's the Robin shit I was talking about. The mom said, we're trying to build a family. So apparently the mom is back with the stepdad or back with the natural father. Convenient enough that he ain't want nothing to do with the baby prior to her graduating, prior to her financial emancipation, meaning that he no longer has to pay child support. Now all of a sudden he's willing to come back and deal with the mama and be back in the family. He want to be a father. Now he ain't got to pay shit. And he's not responsible for nothing, right? That's the first part. The second part, I agree. Somebody said it depends on what the graduate wants. I agree with that to a point. But at the same time, most of these graduations, you don't just get 2 tickets. So if the mom is going to be there, the man who raised her is going to be there. Why is it even a question? If it's so important that stepdad is there or the natural father is there, then somebody else need to come up off a ticket. Aunties, cousins, grandma, peepaws, or whoever you got, they need to come up off a ticket. Why I got to come off a ticket? If I was there and I was doing the day-to-day work, why do I have to come up off my ticket? If I'm there providing for the child and I'm there answering questions, I'm there instructing and giving life advice. I'm not just there putting money because I said this on Tuesday. I want to take it out of the realm of just the financial part because that's a huge manosphere talking point. Like you're going to pay all this money for the child and the child going to reject you and you're going to lose all your money. I don't count it in money. What I count it in is sacrifices. What I count it in is time. What I count it in is the emotional outpour that you put into this child and how that negatively affects me. If I am close to this child and I'm pouring myself into this child emotionally and I'm rejected, I'm a human being just as much as that child is. And I understand everybody wants to ride for the kids and all that shit. I get it. Ride for the kids. That's cool. But at the same time, everybody involved is a human being and everybody involved has feelings. And it's not appropriate for you to think that as a child, you get to treat your parents any old kind of fucking way you want, and your parents have to sit down and take it. They got to, because you're an adult and because you're the mom or you're the dad, your feelings don't matter. And my feelings and how I feel about things are the only thing that should count in this situation. If you are raising your kids like that, you are failing your child. I'm going to say it straight out. You're failing your child. Why are you failing your child? Because there's not one relationship that they're going to experience in their life that's going to function that way. You're teaching them that they're the center of the universe. Everybody wants to get on here and talk about narcissists, and this person's a narcissist, and I knew a narcissist, and I dated a narcissist, married to a narcissist, my parents were narcissists. This is how people exhibit those types of behaviors, where you think the sun rises and sets in a crack of your ass. You can do whatever you want to whomever you want, and everybody got to take it because we all don't want to hurt your fees, and we all got to sidestep and tiptoe around your feelings and your emotions to make you feel good and make sure that you don't experience any difficult emotions. Not realizing that there are other people on the other side of that. If this man has been in this child's life for 17 years, and this isn't his baby, this isn't his child, but he opened his heart, he opened his mind, he opened his wallet, he opened everything, his spirit up to this child, open to this child, and then only to be rejected after 17 years. You know how much that shit hurts? When she was sitting around crying about her father not showing up places and you showing up instead, when she had her daddy-daughter dances, you're there, not only you buying her dresses and her outfits and the ticket and the transportation, but you getting dressed up and you're excited to go. You're telling your friends that you taking your daughter on the daddy-daughter dance and you excited to be there. And then we're supposed to pretend that because she's graduating and all of a sudden this other man drops in out of nowhere that, oh, well, it doesn't matter how much you've invested in this child. Now, I'm not saying that the biological parents should be blocked out. I'm just simply saying that I understand how graduations work because I've been to a few of them. And I know that you get more than 2 damn tickets. Unless it's like a little tiny ass podunk school that they're having a graduation in like a church or something, or like a cafeteria, right? But this is a high school graduation. You fully expect that the dad is going, like, there's more than 2 tickets. There's more than a ticket for the mom and more than a ticket for the stepdad, if not the stepfather or the father, biological father. So, like I said, if I'm there, if you want the biological father there, that's fine, but I'm not giving up my ticket. And I'm insulted at the fact that you would ask me to give up my ticket, especially if I'm still doing for the child. When I never had to do for the child, but I'm doing it. And then aren't we the same people who will criticize a step parent or bonus parent for not doing necessary things for a child? Are we the same people that sat around and criticized Robin because she had other kids in the family who were going hungry, but her kids weren't going hungry? She was taking care of her kids, but she wasn't taking care of her stepkids. Or we found out David was ignoring Truly or mistreating Truly or Isabel Aspen or one of Christine's kids. We'd be flying all over David's ass. Well, if he was like, no, well, you know, they got a father. F them, they got a father. I'm just here for the mama. Just saying. Because I'd be willing to bet, and here's my thing. The stepfather might not be, or the biological father might not be comfortable with the stepdad being there. And so you're edging the stepfather out because of the comfort of the biological father. Because why would he want to be sitting in a room or in a row celebrating a child that he had nothing to do with, and you sit next to the guy who stepped up when you failed? Or like the mom said, you know, she's trying to make her way so that she could be that person with this man. So she's trying to smooth things over because they're trying to be a family. And it's hard to be a family and focus on our family when you got the past relationship, which is the stepfather sitting there. And she's embarrassed about that. That's my feeling on it.
After 17 years.
Trying to build a family.
After 17
years. Yeah, after 17 years. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Man, y'all trifling as hell, man. Straight up. You know
what?
This is what I'm going to do. Just like I told her, that apartment that I just got for her, I just went and pulled.
Now, see, Dad,
I
you
pulled the
wrong.
lease
You wrong
off.
for that.
I pulled the lease off of it. That graduation that I
Wow.
paid for, I'm finna go take all my money back. Matter of fact, I'm on my way there right now.
Now that's wrong. Now that's
it ain't
trifling.
wrong.
That's trifling.
So after
You're
after
trifling.
17 years, y'all kicked me to the curb,
Man,
and
come on.
that ain't trifling.
So now you're gonna give your daughter like that?
I'm just supposed to give her my money. I'm supposed to give her my money.
Okay.
I took care of this girl for 17 years, saw her through all her schools, was at all her little milestones. I was the man there.
You don't think she appreciate that?
I mean, the damn show don't
She
feel like
appreciate
it.
everything you do, but so now you're gonna do that to her?
I'm taking all
You
my
just gonna
shit.
take everything from her?
I am.
You know that, and that's what you call trifling.
I am. Hey, I
But you so-called want to be a daddy.
I don't.
But you want to be.
That's over with.
Man, come on.
That's over with.
That's over with.
Yeah, that's over.
So you want? So you gonna be out of her life just like that?
I'm done.
Just because of the graduation? Are you serious?
No, she told me that you convinced her to do it, and she old enough.
And I did.
But she old enough to make her own decisions. So she came to me and told me she wanted to give up my ticket that I paid for to a man that hasn't been there for 17 years, right? And you don't want me to be at a graduation that I paid for, the money that I worked for and I spent and paid for, and I got her first apartment, and I'm getting kicked to the curb. I'm the bad guy now.
Ain't nobody said you was getting kicked to the curb. They just said she want her daddy to come. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that.
You know what? Look, all y'all can go now, because I'm just finna take everything back.
Wow.
And I'm gonna let y'all
So you doing that
handle
like...
That's how it is.
Nah.
That's
You wrong for that.
I'll be wrong. I'll be wrong. I'll be wrong. Don't worry about it. Hey, look, I'll tell you what. I'm about to get off this phone. I want y'all to go have a happy family together, because I'm out that shit.
Oh, you wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Sure right. Like I'm supposed to just stick around and let something like this go down, man. I've been there for 17 years. Man, I ain't trying to hear that crap, man. Straight up.
Yikes. Couple things. Is it wrong to take the stuff back? Is it wrong to take the stuff back? Shit. Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of, like, if you give something to somebody, you give it to them. I'm not a big fan of snatching shit back. I'm not. Like, I'm not a fan of that. But Petty, I'm gonna be honest with you. What she's learning, what the daughter is going to learn, is that there are repercussions to how you treat people. And that's what I'm referring to when I say that if you're raising your kid to think that because they're the child in this situation, child is relative, because they're the child, they'll be 18, 28, 48, 58, 108, but they're still your child, right? Child is relative. But because they're the child in this situation, they think that they can do whatever they want without repercussions. That's not how life works. Full stop. That's not how life works. You don't get to, if I have an advantage, if I was Jeff Bezos rich, right? Or Elon Musk rich, and I'm sitting there with all this money and I'm dating somebody and we break up, then you don't get to do the shit that I was providing for you after we break up. If I had you in a penthouse in New York City, which is ridiculous money, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, right? And I have you in that apartment or that penthouse, and that's where you live while we're dating. When we break up, you moving your ass up out the penthouse. You're moving out the penthouse. You might be in our house, okay? But you're not living in the penthouse no more. Why? Because you got those benefits because you were with me. You were part of my life. You're part of my situation. You can't expect people to still give you the benefit of your presence when they've asked for your absence. When they've asked you to leave and they say that they don't want you around and they don't value you, because that's how I would take this situation. If I invested 17 years into another human being and I'm telling my friends and family, my baby's graduating, y'all. I'm so excited. My baby's graduating. Oh, she did such a great job. I'm so proud of her. And you turn around and tell me that you don't want me there because I'm no longer needed, then what I would take from that situation is that you never respected me and you never valued me. You valued the things I could provide for you. You valued the things I could give to you, but you never valued me as a person, of me as an influential part of your life. And that part would hurt me way more than the financial or the money part. The money part will, probably give me nightmares. I wake up in the middle of the night like, what the shit? You know how much money I spent on this crazy chick? This ungrateful so-and-so, right? But what would hurt my feelings is the fact that you are essentially telling me that I'm not valued, that I don't mean anything. And my contributions to you over the course of 17 years, you realize that people have deuced people. People aren't like, they've made sure people aren't here no more. They go to jail and get out early in the 17 years. People go, we're going to put you in jail. You're going to get sentenced for murder. And you go to jail, get out before 17 years on good behavior and shit. Like, what? I do 17 joints in a family, taking care of responsibilities, stepping in where somebody else fell down and neglected to participate or didn't want to do. And I'm doing by my own volition. And I'm thinking every time I do something and every time I make a sacrifice because it's not just everybody is stupid rich and they just got money falling out their ass and they taking care of these kids with all this extra money. Like, there are times when you're making sacrifices for kids and families that, you're giving them things that you don't have. You make sure that they have when you don't have. You make sure that you're missing trips. You're not going to hang out with your buddies. You're not sitting on bar stools with your friends because you need to pay for lunch money. And because they need school clothes or they need school supplies or they want to go on a class trip or they want to participate in an activity. You're not doing activities for yourself. Maybe you got a hobby that you like participating in that you can't do because you realize that if I do my hobby, they can't do their activity, their after school activity. So I'm going to sacrifice that. And you do that over the course of 17 years, all the things you've given up so that for the love of that person, only to have that person tell you that you're not valuable to them. You wonder why this guy, the only thing he's doing is pulling money. But you can't, you can pull money, but what you can't do is pull his heart back together after you shattered it because you're trying to chase after something else. And that's what I'm saying. Like, parents have feelings too. Parents have feelings too. Step parents have feelings too. And to sit there and pretend like, oh, you just throw up because that's her biological father. What does that mean to me exactly? Because when the child needed shoes, or we were sitting around crying because the child needed tuition paid, and you was talking about how this biological father wasn't giving you child support, and I had to step in there and start stroking out checks. It wasn't, oh, he's so important and he's so wonderful then. Now, all of a sudden, graduation time comes. It's time to celebrate the good job that we have done together. Then all of a sudden, this dude show up and want to take credit for some shit. And that's all it is, because you want to stand there. I'm the girl's father. And you want to stand there and get pictures. You want to stand there and get the congratulations. That's your daughter? Congratulations. It's hard work to get them through school, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it is difficult for us to do that. And this dude had nothing to do with it. And he gets celebrated. And I get the curb, yeah, I'll be pissed too. I ain't gonna bullshit you. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be mad as hell. But there's a part two. And this is from the daughter's perspective. The daughter contacted him and got part of that conversation. So let's check that out. Because I like to try to round it out. Here we go.
You allowed your mom to manipulate you because you grown. You do make your own decisions. You're a very smart girl. You do have a good heart and people play on that. But I've been telling you that your whole life. Like, I've been grooming you and teaching you how to stand up for yourself. I understand that's your mom, but like, standing up for what's right is gonna come with consequences sometimes. And you straight push me to the side, like straight up.
Yeah. I'm really sorry. I should have never did that. That was totally on me. I should have been stronger mentally, but I just didn't. You know, it was just the thought of losing the relationship with my mom. It's just like, dang, because I already don't have my real dad and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I just feel really bad, and I feel like it should have never happened. And you should have been there at my graduation, because he didn't even show up. Like, you should have been there.
Wait, saying. And that's why you don't do traveling shit like that. Don't rely on people that you can never rely on. Because that's the way that's the true way. Like, that's why I say, like, some of this shit might be fake. Maybe this shit is fake too. I don't know. But that's the way the shit works. You shit on the biological stepdad for the biological father, for the man who has never shown up for you for 17 damn years. This man ain't show up for you not once. Not once. Then the one time you like, okay, I'm ready to shit on a biological father and his contribution, screw him, because for the bio dad, because I want my real father now, because he's my father. And then you screw that whole relationship up with your stepfather, only for you to offer the ticket to the biological father and he do what he has done. You know what? When you know the nature of a thing, you're not surprised when the thing do what the thing do. Okay? When you know the nature of a thing, you are never surprised when a thing does what a thing does. Because you know it's in their nature. If this dude is the cut and run guy, he's a hit it and quit it. You know what I mean? The splurt and splooge dude, if he's that guy, and he's, you know, he hit it and quit it, like he knocking your mama down, and he giving her that sweet shit, yo, girl, I'm trying to build a family with you, blah, blah, blah. I'll be over there at 3 o'clock in the morning after the club closed, and I get something to eat at the diner, right? Don't even bring her nothing back from the diner, right? If he's doing all that, I'm sorry, so unprofessional. Usually I turn my phone off. Scam likely. If it wasn't for scam likely, nobody called me. But if you do all that for that dude, then no, he's probably not showing up to the graduation. And more to the point, when I'll be willing to bet, and here's another thing. And you say, James, that's not how that would work, because he would show up. This ain't real. You know what might have happened and what would happen in this situation? As soon as stepdad started pulling his financial support, all of a sudden, because stepdad is taking care of the financial part of it, as long as the financial part is being taken care of, you know, mom ain't worried about shit, daughter ain't worried about shit, because the shit's being taken care of. Now, all of a sudden, stepdad be like, all right, you know what bio dad wanted? He got it. Here's the bill. You guys can take care of that yourselves. Now, all of a sudden, everybody looking around, they say, hey, stepdad or bio dad, you want to kick in for some of this bill? And as soon as you start talking about money, my man throw the damn gas grenade down, boosh, the smoke grenade, and he disappeared like his name is Batman or Ninja Person, right? He disappears on your ass because he's not trying to financially invest in you. He's there for the good times because that's what he do. When you understand a thing, you're not surprised when a thing does what a thing does. If he's Mr. Good Time guy, then he's going to be there for the good times. He's not trying to do a whole bunch of heavy lifting. He's not there for the emotional aspect when you have problems. He's certainly not there for the financial shit when you need a check written. He's not going to be that guy. If he hasn't written a check in 17 years, he's not going to start today. Sorry, not sorry. That's what happened. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
Listen, anyways, what's going on? Like, what's up? Why are you calling me? What's the deal?
Because I really need you. Not only like I need your help, I just need your presence and your guidance. Like that's what I've been missing since this whole thing has happened, and I kind of feel lost with this adult thing.
Listen, I don't know. Give me a little time. I don't know. Like, I ain't really feeling it. You know, me and your mom, we fell out again. Well, she fell out with me because she called me on bull crap. I ain't got time for all that. But I don't, her actions don't surprise me, you know, because she been manipulating situations, especially ever since we split up. That was one of the reasons why we split up, because she manipulative and she don't take ownership for what she did. She always make excuses, and you've seen it growing up. And this is just another situation or example of her doing that. So I'm not even really surprised about her. I'm hurt by, you know what I mean? Like, I was so happy. I was so happy. Like, I was bragging on it, you know, to my friends, my family and stuff, like my baby graduating. Only, man, you know what? Hey, look, let me get my mind right, and well, I'll call you. I'll call you.
Okay.
And yeah, cause I right now I'm still fucked up about that. So but yeah, yeah, I'll holler at you later. Like, I don't even want to talk about it right now. Just best thing I can say is just keep your head straight and think about all the stuff I taught you for 17 years.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that's a piece of work right there, boy. See, here's the thing. Like, because I was thinking about it earlier. People might look at that, you know, she's coming back and she's apologizing and she's saying she's remorseful and she's regretful of the decision that she made at the mother's insistence and encouragement. Because, like I said, I think her motivation wasn't to try to reconnect the daughter with the biological father. Her thing was she was trying to connect with the biological father, and she was using the daughter as a tool to do it. I'm going to build you into my life, and I'm going to make my daughter accessible to you so we could be one family, right? And in doing so, she isolated the father. Now, I say that that's extremely damaging, and this is one of the principles that I carry in my life. I do not break up relationships or friendships or whatever willy-nilly. Like, I don't have an argument with somebody. Like, I've never got an argument with my wife and said, you know what? That's it. I'm leaving. The relationship is done. I'm leaving you, etc., etc., etc. The reason I don't do that is because it's several fold, but easy reasons why I don't do that is because, one, if you constantly throw that shit out, it doesn't mean anything after a while, right? I'm leaving you. Okay, yeah, you're always leaving. Why don't you just go? You know what I mean? After a while, they start challenging you. Go. I'll help you pack your bag. Shit, you tell me every week you're leaving me, but you never go anywhere, right? The big reason why I don't do that shit, the big reason why I don't do it is because the second you threaten somebody with leaving and you make it a reality to that person, especially if they really believe that you will leave, or in this case, you tell this man that he's not important, you don't need him, he's replaceable, etc., etc. His contributions don't mean anything. There's certain things you can't take back. There's certain things you can't take back. And when he heard that, that might have been the first time he heard that. You're not my father. I want my biological father. He had, you know, it's kind of been the voice in the back of his head. Maybe people have told him that throughout the years, but it hits different and it lands different when it comes out the mouth of the person that he made the sacrifices for. Because prior to that conversation, you don't think that she would ever say that thing to you because she would never feel that way about you. Yeah, people are going to tell you that the biological child don't really see you as a father and she don't really care about you and your pride and your sacrifices don't mean anything. But it's different when the child basically says that to you. And then when they come back and say, you know what, I made a mistake, that's fine. And I understand that people make mistakes. But when you make a mistake, That doesn't mean that I didn't feel what I felt and I no longer feel what I feel. Because now I don't have security in my relationship with you. Because you've already told me that I'm disposable. And that I can not only be disposed of, I can be recycled, rewashed, and you can move on without me. But now that you realize that you still need me, now all of a sudden, oh, you gotta come back. You gotta come back. Daddy, I need your advice. I need your life advice. I need your financial support. Oh, you was my real daddy. And I've always said, like, you see people's true colors when they feel like they don't need you. When you don't have any use, they don't have any use for you. You figure out quickly how they actually feel about you. And in this particular case, because the daughter, she's a little high on the hog, the bills are paid because stepdad paying them. She got an apartment. She feel like she's smelling herself because she got her own place. She about to graduate school. She's starting a life. And then you feel like you could treat anybody the way you want to treat them because you feel like you're on top of the game. But then when you get knocked down, now all of a sudden is I'm back and, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize how much you was actually contributing. Then again, you didn't value me. You valued what I was giving you. You valued the benefits you had from my presence, but you didn't value me and you didn't value my presence. And so if I'm that easy to get rid of, then do I want to be involved in that situation? Or is this Megatron? The way my stepdad is, every milestone photo and bio dad nowhere to be found. Now that I have a relationship with my bio dad, I still let him know who my dad is. He say slick stuff and get cussed, slammed out. Yeah, but I mean that's real. It's real talk. Because if you're appreciative and in a way, it's kind of indicative of not only who you are as a person, but your character. And I think that that's what he was kind of getting to when he said, look, your mom is going to be your mom. She's going to do what she did. And like I said, you understand the nature of a thing. You understand what a thing is capable of. So it is what it is. Your mom's going to be your mom. But what hurt me was what you did. Right? Because you told me that you didn't want me to come to your graduation. And you could have figured something else out. Or you could have figured out another way for me to be there. But you decided that that's the chance you wanted to take. Is my, like I said, it takes a village. I had a history teacher in high school named Father Murphy. And Father Murphy, he sounded like, actually, Father Murphy, I thought about it the other day. He sounded like one of them 1930s gangsters. You're like, yeah, she, yeah. And he had a saying, he was like, so you rolled the bones and you lost. Right? Never forgot that shit. You rolled the bones and you lost. You took a chance and you put your money down, picked the dice up, you threw them. And when the shit came back snake eyes and you crapped out, now all of a sudden you want to sit there and cry the blues and talk about how it ain't fair and how you made a mistake and how you shouldn't have did it. But you knew what you were doing when you picked the shit up. And you knew what you were doing when you threw it. And you took the chance. It just didn't play out like you thought it would. And now your ass is upset. And I think that that's the part that, hurt the father or hurt the stepfather. Because the crazy part is they given a chance. And this is the part that's I'm going to flip it a little bit. The part that's really upsetting. If you think about it this way, she threw him away in a way that he never would have thrown her away. Because throughout 17 years, this is not your child. This is not your child. So throughout 17 years, he's consistently put her first, consistently prioritized her, consistently chose her. Even in light of the fact that I am sure, especially if he didn't have any children of his own, that his family members, his friends, and people in his close association, you can't tell me there wasn't at least 3 or 4 of them who were saying to him consistently, that ain't your baby. Why are you sacrificing shit? Where's the father at? Why are you giving up things? Why are you not coming? Like me, we got a boys trip. We going to Vegas. We got a boys trip. We going down to the islands. We going to act a straight fool. We going to go to Mexico for a week. You saying you can't come because you got to go watch a softball game. You going to go watch volleyball. You going to watch debate club. She need a ride back and forth to an activity or whatever. She got a little summer job and she needs you to take her back and forth. So you going to miss this good time with your friends? That ain't even your daughter. And that man for over 17 years looked his friends, families, and associates in the face and said, that is my daughter. And if I have to miss every boys trip, I have to miss every vacation, I have to miss bachelor parties or whatever to make sure she's okay, I will do that because as far as I'm concerned, that's my daughter. And when met with the same peer pressure, when met with the same level of, it's easy for you to just deny it. It's easy for you to deny the relationship. Met with that same pressure, he consistently over 17 years said, nah, man, that's my daughter. That's my family. And when given the opportunity to reciprocate that one feeling, she decided that she wasn't going to go ahead and disown him. You understand what I mean? That's the part that, like I said, when you think about it like that, that's the part that hurts. That's the part that wears on you. You know? And Nada's back. What's going on? Said the bio mom was wrong. Absolutely. And it's shame on her for putting it on the daughter to make the choice and pressuring her to make that choice because she knew what sacrifices and damn well, if she had a man who was willing to do it, especially in light of the fact that you had a man who made a baby with you and it was his responsibility and he chose not to do it. And you had a man step up in his stead and say, I'll take on that responsibility gladly and I'll do it. You know the value of that man. And this is where it gets tricky, y'all. This is where it gets tricky. Because long and short, I agree with something that Megatron said. Sometimes, and this is a disgusting fact, sometimes when you have a single parent, mother or father, you have a single parent, and they're out in the dating market, they aren't looking for people who they're attracted to. They aren't looking for partners. They're looking for parents. Let me say that one more again. When you have some single parents, fathers and mothers, doing it by themselves, when they're in the dating market, they aren't looking for partners. They're looking for parents. They're looking for somebody to parent their child. Problem with that is they get somebody, they're not necessarily attracted to them, but this person fits all the markers of somebody who's going to be willing to step in and take care of that baby for them. Help them with that child. So they get picked. And then, of course, on the 18th birthday, when they're no longer technically financially responsible, I don't know how that shit go because your child could be 20-something years old still living in your house, especially nowadays with this economy. But at 18, when you are no longer financially responsible for that child, all of a sudden, mama want to get new. Daddy want to get frisky. The relationship was never going to work. Oh, I was tired of your ass for years. Oh, you ain't what I expected you to be. Oh, I think I want something different. Because you were never the one that they chose. You were just the one they picked because you could be a parent. And that's what they were in the market for. Now that job has closed, they ready to move on. They ready to start their life. They ready to get their fun time on. And like I said, I think that's a real possibility. Like the guy, he seems like a nice enough guy. He was willing to commit, but he wasn't the one. And let's be honest, when it comes to a lot of these relationships, it's nice to think, like even when we talk about sister wives and shit, right? It's nice to think that people will look at the relationship and understand the sacrifices that you make, and logically and reasonably, you could make a decision to be with this particular person, right? Because they made so many sacrifices. You've been with them for so many years, and you have biological kids with them. So it makes perfect sense that you will want to choose this person. How many times have people been given the choice to choose somebody who reasonably and logically would make the most sense as a strong choice, but they consistently pick somebody who is, pardon my French, a classical fuck up? Like somebody who is just trash. They call it bad boy. He a bad boy. She a bad girl. She a freaking dick. She a super leash, freak on the leash. She a baddie. Right? How many times people say that shit? But it's not the fact that they bad or they bad boys or bad girls. They trashy. And they just like trash. They should instead of saying that I'm a single person, just say that you the garbage man because you like going around picking up trash. Okay? And you just like trashy people, trashy women, trashy men, and that's what you're attracted to. But you realize that a trashy person isn't going to take care of your kids. A trashy person ain't going to make sure your bills are paid. A trashy person is more likely to take their paycheck and your paycheck. They blow their paycheck, then come back and siphon your paycheck off of your bank account and go blow that too. That's what trashy people do, right? And you recognize that. So I need somebody who's going to be more reliable. So you get me with Joe Blow reliability, and maybe on the weekends or girls' trips, or when you go out of town and go see your mama, you go pick up some trash because you're the garbage person. You're the garbage person who pick up trash. And you don't stop being that person who picks up trash because you have a baby. You don't stop being that person because you have responsibilities. So you do what you do. Like I said, when you understand the nature of a thing, you're not surprised by the things that thing do. It is what it is. You know? Yes, that's true. Dating while being a parent must be hard, though. You never know who is going to come with true intentions. That's true. That's true. That's true. I think dating in general is hard when you're a parent. There's an extra layer of difficulty. It's like you're leveling up difficulty. But I think you are served best when you're using good principles in your dating practices. I mean, as the classic poet, American poet DMX once said, I trust people to be them, and I trust myself to see them. Right? You just gotta let people be themselves. Don't try to make people into what you want them to be or what would be convenient for you to be, for them to be. Let them be themselves and judge them on who they are as opposed to who you want them to be. You want this guy, he's fun, he's amazing, he's good looking, he has some money. You want him to be a stepfather. See what he's working with. Not how it benefits you, but see who he actually is. Take time to look at who he actually is. Look at who she is, what she's about. I'm gonna really wow her. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna take care of her and her kids and blah blah blah. See what she's about. Is she using me because she thinks I'm a good step parent, or does she think I'm a good man and she wants to have a good man in her life, which is different than what she's used to? And then, to be honest with you, this is why dating history I think is important, because you can, like I said, you can kind of predict where a person will be and what they will do by where they've been and what they have done. You can predict what a person will be and where they're going by what they've done and where they've been. So if you're a person and you date a bunch of F boys or F girls and that's your thing, then all of a sudden you get saddled with a child. Now all of a sudden you trying to be Miss Responsible. You try to be Mr. Congeniality. Bullshit. You trying to find somebody that's going to help you with these responsibilities. You haven't changed a lick. Hey, you still about that life. You still belong to the streets. You know what I mean? You just need somebody to help you get back to your position. And so that's why I say you gotta look at where they are. If they're genuinely, like, maybe they got hooked up with somebody. Everybody makes mistakes, especially in dating. I'm not saying hold everything against them, but if you look at them and you say, "Damn, that dude is an asshole," right? And you look at it and they actually, you talk to them and listen to what they're actually saying, why they broke up with them, why they wouldn't go back with them, why that relationship didn't work. And they're hitting all the points of, like, I didn't want to have that kind of person. He was not a reliable person. I want somebody I can trust, somebody I can deal with. That wasn't my ideal situation. I thought he was that type of person, but I realized too late that he wasn't. Okay, well, I can work with that. I can work with that. But I can't work with somebody who, like, if you dating, trash ass person, and then you don't have a problem with them being trashy people. Your problem is that you got taken advantage of, or it didn't work out the way you hoped. That's different. So you're not done with it. You just didn't like the way it turned out, right? And you need a little break. So you gonna recharge your battery, get your self-esteem back up, and then you back out in the street. You need somebody who's gonna put you back together again and make you feel good about yourself. And I'm sitting here, you're amazing, you're smart, you got it going on, girl. You can do it. You get past that guy, blah blah blah, and then you can go on and about your life and keep doing what you're doing, right? But I'm nobody's pit stop. So that's how I feel about it. But that's my take, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little dalliance into the craziness. But I want to give a shout out to Megatron as well as Janet, Unlimited Lipstick. Thank you guys so much for leaving speak pipes. If you guys want to leave a speak pipe, by all means, leave a speak pipe. We'll play the message and we'll talk about it on Thursday. Awesomeness. It should be good times. But thank you so much for that. My biggest fear is someone that will hurt my babies. For real. I wouldn't survive it because he damn sure won't survive it. And I'm going down like the Cleo and set it off until I get him. Okay. Leave James alike. Yes, please. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Lizzie B. Appreciate you. Had Brittany not Brittany in the house as well. But let's just go over this poll question, then we'll do hearts in the chat, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. Who should have priority at major life events like graduation? The person who raised you, 45%. Your biological parent, 6%. Both equally, 48%. That was probably the tightest one we've had so far. Awesomeness. But yeah, we do hearts in the chat here to support people who are, need our support and things. So let's put some hearts in the chat for members who are maybe going through some hard times. Hard times can include, like I said before, hard times can include just having life changes, trying to go for that new job. I'm actually, you know what, guys? I I'm going to do a video on because I think I'm gonna get back to some of the job stuff I was doing, employment stuff. But I want to do a video on that too, like talking about life changes and how people go through work, and more to the point, why incompetence seems like it's rewarded at your job, and a lot of times you as a hard worker, a dedicated worker, a high performing entity at the workplace will go largely ignored. How does that shit happen? Like, how are you gonna be at work? I'm in there killing myself, doing everybody's job, and the boss still talking about write me up, and I'm scared of getting fired. And this asshole come in every week, he don't do nothing. And somehow, some way, he's protected. Like, the boss don't talk to him twice. In fact, the boss will walk past his desk. How does this work? The boss will walk past his desk while he's sitting there playing damn solitaire on a computer. Boss walk past him, ask me what I'm doing. And I'm working. How does that shit work? We're gonna talk about that shit. I want to do a video on that. Shout out to Watkins Mill High School. 1, 2, 3 Rhines. Okay. Janet said, James, I left a milestone super chat. All right, thank you, Janet. I didn't see it, but that's okay. We're gonna give you a little something, something. Let me give you a little something, something. Thank you so much. But to the hearts in the chat. So I'm gonna put hearts in the chat because we want to support people who need that support. Maybe they're going through changes. They got some bad news. In some cases, we have some people, with the craziness going on around the world in Iran. Some people who are tied to military personnel, and these people may be deployed to go to Iran. So we want to put hearts in the chat for those folks, because when you are deployed, you're in the military, you get deployed. It's not just the individual who's in the military who suffers. It's also the friends and family that person is tied to and connected to who suffer as well. So we want to put hearts in the chat for those folks. Specifically, we have people that I included because I may see some things where I might holler some names out. I don't get into their business as far as why they're in the hearts in the chat. Just know that they're individuals who just maybe need you to think about them or give them a little emotional hug, digital hug, if you will. But we have Negla 3, Brittany Not Brittany, Jody Periscala, Carmel Cuties, Megatron, Miss Betty Aldridge, Kathy Ferran, Allison Gaines, Marlo Peterson, and Team Ty and Litmont. All right. I also wanted to put Susie Q in there as well. I don't know why she's not in there, but we are going to include her. Susie Q. I don't know why she's not in there, but we are going to include her. All right. But let's throw some hearts in the chat. Yeah, we had Darlene Hall in there too. Darlene needs some hearts in the chat. Like, she had some things going on. Some amazing news. Actually, and that's one of the things that does get me excited. Sometimes people go in like hearts in the chat because they might be going through some things and they get some really good news. And so I'm not going to say it's because of us that the good thing happened, but it's nice to know that we're on the side of the angels and rooting for those good things. So when the positive things happen, we're there kind of cheering them on and supporting them. So, but thank you so much for everybody who participated in that. And by all means, if you guys want to leave a message, Lizzie B was kind enough to put that in the chat. You can ask your questions, leave your thoughts, drop your shade if you want to. Drop your shade. I ain't scared of it. And if you disagree, guys, let me be very clear about something before I let you go. If you ever disagree with something I say, please understand this is not one of those channels that I can't be wrong. I can't be disagreed with. People can't have differences of opinion and all that other dumb shit. If you disagree with something I say, by all means, you are always invited to call in, leave a message on SpeakPipe. You can send me an email or whatever you choose to do. I do not sit here and discriminate. I don't just put in people who support the channel or agree with what I'm saying. If you disagree with me, that's fine, right? The only thing I ask is that if you disagree, you call in, you give me the opportunity to respond to what you're saying so we can have a dialogue and a conversation, and maybe we can come to some understanding. You know, truth be told, in some situations, you may have your position, I have mine, you say your piece, I say my piece. We can part still believing what we believe, but we could part as friends and part, you know, still respecting each other. But I encourage like people to be able to have like that open dialogue on this channel. I don't want to have the kind of channel where people, you know, oh, James, I think that maybe you were in error when you said XYZ. Oh, no, ban that person. I don't never want to see him again. They can't never be here again. They got to be banned. Oh, no, you insta-banned. Like, that's ridiculous, right? So, by all means, if you ever disagree with something I say or you want to add something to what I say, please leave a speak pipe message or whatever. I have, and I think I don't want to say I'm the only channel, but I may be one of the few channels where I try to give members a huge opportunity to have their voices heard on my platform, not just in the chat room, but I run an entire speak pipe show. I run an entire call-in show. And I do a lot. I try to make it as accessible or as easy for people to be able to say what they want to say, how they want to say it on the channel. So, I mean, take that what you will. But, you know, I appreciate everybody who participates. We will be back on Saturday for the members roundtable where we pull everybody up and we have like a whole open panel. We usually run that from 12 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. So if you are a member, please come in and participate. It's a lot of fun. We get into some pretty deep conversations. We get into some pretty deep conversations. And I'm not even going to sit there and pretend like we get into some deep conversations because I'm an awesome moderator. No, we get into some deep conversations because we have awesome members who come in and are willing to take advantage of what I like to think of as a place where we can meet with ideas and everybody's respected. So people feel like they can open up and tell their stories and have a place or a forum where we can openly discuss very sensitive issues and very sensitive topics. And I'm very proud of that fact that we do have that kind of group where people feel comfortable sharing very personal things. And a lot of that is done on Saturdays. So if you're around and you're available, come through on a Saturday, check us out. But thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like button, please. And subscribe. Got Darlene Hall now. She's always there. Local Art Switch is here. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Nat. I appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. As I say always, that's my take. I'm James, and this has been my take on reality, and I'm out. You guys have a great, whether you call me or not on Saturday, that's fine, but have a fantastic weekend. Be safe, take care of yourself, hug your kids, tell them that you love them, because nobody is guaranteed time on this rock. So make sure you let the people you want to let, you know, that you want to know you love them or you care about them and how you feel about them, make sure they know, because you never know when you run out of time. All right. But thank you guys so much. I'm out.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Don't pull right down the side.